We move on to the good stuff, the news of the day. Sir Keir Starmer is refusing to punish two rebel ministers accused of plotting to defy this week's Supreme Court ruling that trans women are not women. Border Security Minister Dame Angela Eagle warned in leaked WhatsApp messages exposed in the Mail on Sunday today that official guidance that will follow the ruling could be catastrophic for transgender people. And meanwhile, Culture Minister Sir Chris Bryant, remember him, has also made attacks around the decision. Well, I can speak now with former Labour spokesman James Matthewson. James, happy Easter to you. Thank you for your company on this special day. What do you make of the Mail on Sunday front page? Is this a big headache for Sir Keir Starmer? I think the latest update is that Downing Street, or Number 10 at least, isn't planning to punish these so-called rebels.
Yeah, there's several things at play here, Ben, that I think are important. Firstly, you've got the infighting in the government. You've got the real kind of battle going on in the Labour Party for its conscience and its issue around trans rights, which has been something that's been ongoing for several years now. But it is very interesting to see how they will handle that as opposed to how they've handled other rebellions on other issues, because there are more sensitivities around this subject, and understandably so. But I do believe that the Labour Party, the government, has made several steps already that indicate that it's taking the wrong stance. It's taking the wrong path out of several paths that are available to it when it comes to this issue of trans rights, and especially the Supreme Court ruling, which obviously for many, many people in our country, including myself, is very disappointing.
Sorry, James, I missed who you said had taken the wrong path. Did you say the government? The
government, yeah. It's choice in how it reacts to the Supreme Court ruling, how it chooses to go forward. And I mean, everything, the writing seems to be on the wall, including from Dame Eagle's, assessment of this situation herself, in that this seems to be a done deal as far as it goes with regard to how they react to this. And that's very disappointing in my eyes.
Because we've not heard from Keir Starmer since that ruling. I thought it quite interesting. There was no statement, there was no tweet or anything. Why is Starmer being so coy and quiet on this front?
I think he's nervous. I think he's scared. I think the government has been paralysed by fear for a while, not just on this issue, on several issues. But the problem is this just leads further and further into this idea that the Labour Party doesn't know what it's doing when it comes to these issues. Now, look, you get into politics because you've got opinions on things, right? And you know what you think about certain things. You put them forward to the public vote on you, and then you get elected and you implement those things. What we're seeing now is the Labour Party elected, right? And regardless of whether you think how that happened or why it happened, they're elected and they have certain principles at their core, but acting in government in contrary to those principles. Now, look, I was sitting with my friend who's trans when this ruling was announced at the Supreme Court. And to sit opposite somebody who is going to live through the effects of this, and somebody who is experiencing all the emotion, all the difficulty, all the fear that comes with it, was truly transformative for me. It's an absolutely terrifying moment for so many people in our country. And it really, really disappoints me, the narrative that we're seeing in the media, that we're seeing perpetrated by the government as well as it follows on from the Supreme Court ruling, that just seems to lack. And we talk about it being Easter Sunday right now, And I want to ask people who come out with these positions about trans people and the comments that they've freely made, how they can do so in the conscious of themselves being Christians and believe what Jesus Christ would say about these people. I'm not a Christian, I'm an atheist, right? I believe Jesus Christ was a real person, and I just don't believe his divinity. However, when you look at the words of that man written down, from 2,000 years ago, how can you not think that man would be an advocate for everybody, the minorities in our society? And that's exactly what we're seeing here. The minorities in our society attacked, demonized and villainized.
Have you been getting a load of spam in your email recently? What about random calls? It's really annoying, isn't it? Data brokers are out there collecting your personal information. Anything from your email, your full name, your address, and even your political affiliation. Cyber criminals can even use AI to mimic the voices of friends and family to trick people into sending them money. And it gets even worse. People out there are getting huge loans taken out in their names without even knowing about it. But don't worry, because the sponsor of this video, Incogni, can help. They reach out to the data brokers on your behalf and request that your information is removed from their databases. Incogni continues to make sure that your data is removed automatically from the internet via repeated removal requests. So, how can you get started? Well, step 1, hit the link in the description. Create an Incogni account and tell us whose data you'd like removed. Step 2, grant Incogni the right to work on your behalf. Step 3, sit back, relax, and watch Incogni work. They will update consistently so you know when your data has been removed. Incogni is risk-free for 30 days, so you can try it for yourself and you'll get a free refund if the service isn't for you. So take back your personal data today with Incogni. Use the code GBNews using the link in the description below and you'll get 60% off an annual payment plan.
Yeah, I mean, any abuse towards trans people, the comments you reference, of course, it goes without saying, is wrong. But what we're dealing here with is scientific facts and the fact that women don't want biological men in their spaces. So whilst I appreciate at the one time trans people may be going through some personal troubles and they're confused, or whatever, I'll never understand.
They're not confused, Ben. Ben, I have to challenge that narrative. They're not confused. There is only one confusion here, and that is people who are advocating for a situation they do not understand they are creating. Now, where do you want to put trans men? Where do you want trans men to go to the bathroom?
Well, it's a bit different trans men because they are women. So the problem is, as I explained to somebody I met in Brighton,
they're trans men.
They're not, they're women.
they've got better, most of them got better facial hair than you or I will ever have, Ben.
Well, that they probably have because they take testosterone and I don't. I'll have to produce mine naturally. But they are, I'm sorry, as the court ruled, James, they're men. Sorry, they're women.
The pressure that has been put on in a campaign, we have never seen anything like it. It has been extensive.
So what about the rights of women, James? We hear about how trans people women want to use women's toilets. What about the women who are saying, hang on a minute, I feel scared here. I feel threatened by a 6-foot biological man being in the toilet with me. What about them?
6 foot, it's now to do with people's height, Ben.
Yes, it is. It is actually, James. It is. It's all about height. It's about power. It's about the threatening nature.
There are cis women. There are cis biological women who are 6 foot. So that argument makes absolutely no sense.
On the whole, James,
when you talk about people's
you're playing silly. On the whole, men. Let's agree on this point first before we continue. Men, on the whole, are more physical, powerful beings than women. They are generally taller. They are faster. They're quicker. Much bigger lung capacity, bigger bone density. They can, on the whole, manhandle women. That's what women are scared about. You agree with that?
Let's get down to what we're talking about here.
Do you agree with that?
That's the problem men pose. Men are the problem.
Well, yeah,
are you a feminist, Ben?
Trans women are men.
Are you a feminist, Ben?
No, I'm not.
Why? Why are you making an argument for feminism?
We're going down a silly rabbit hole because okay, don't answer my other point then. To answer your feminism point is because the term feminist has been hijacked by very extreme people, and I believe in equal rights for women, but that doesn't make me a feminist.
Well, that makes you a feminist. Then. That makes you a feminist. You should be proud to say it.
No, it doesn't. Not in today's definition.
I'm a feminist.
Not in today's definition.
The point is that I'm a feminist. I believe in protecting women. Now, the danger to women is men. It's not trans women. Trans women are men. Sorry. Trans women are women, and they are not men. And statistically, they are not attacking women anywhere near the capacity that people, that you would give the credence to in the media. It's absolutely diabolical. It's a campaign that is based on hate and division. Why can we not just let people live the lives they need to live? And because what this ruling brings, you say about the trans men situation, you don't have an answer for it. If you want 6'3" bearded men, handsome bearded men,
well, James,
in women's bathrooms, that's what you've done.
There are statistics which Dawn Neeson just read out. I don't have them to hand, but the rate of sexual offenders in prisons, for example, among trans inmates is much higher than what you would call, I don't agree with the term, cis.
That's because the rate of prisoners is higher in assaults generally anyway, because the people who get put in prison...
Well, there's always an excuse, isn't it, for the stats? You just asked for stats, and I've briefly skirted around some. There's always a reason.
I've got stats that go in the opposite direction, but we can do that all day long.
There we go. On this Easter Sunday, James. Yeah, go on then, finish up.
My point remains that about tolerance about love and about respect. You've just spent 10 minutes there.
Be
telling
tolerant
everybody how
towards women then, James.
You believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ and the love of the world and the passion of it. Yet then we start talking about trans people and you're going, trans women are men. You're not living up to your own principles.
It's not hateful to say that. James, it's not hateful to say that. The Supreme Court just ruled it. Anyway, this is descending into... Yeah, OK, James. Happy Easter to you, my friend. Hope you have a good bank holiday. Enjoy. Right, there we go. We were going to speak to the panel, but there's no time, unfortunately, after that. Let us know what you think about that conversation. GBNews.com/your say.